PG.
But I stopped you in your talk. You said you're gonna go around the world, and I don't know
Ah,
what
oh,
to talk
okay.
about 30s.
Yeah, yeah. So again, this will make a lot of Borats mad because Morats are they're very close-minded. You feel me? Like because you think about Borats, right? Is like you can dislike something and you can vilify something. You know what I mean? So so I know you Borats are not gonna like this, but I don't really give a snit. So, and I've done this before, and I don't think I've gotten the point across correct. So I'm just gonna do it. Okay. I just want to clarify anime for a second. Okay. So before I get into that again, so a few weeks ago, right? I'm in this Discord, and I say I don't like cheese. You know what I mean? I don't like cheese.
What a noob.
You know, but I'm not gonna say anyone who eats cheese should fall in the ditch and kill themselves. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna
Hard
do that.
from a ditch,
You
man.
feel me? So here's the thing. So if you were born in the late 80s to early 90s, you know what I mean? Because this seems to be a very quick generation thing. Let me just give the example, Dragon Ball Z. Alright, so if you were born in the late 80s to early 90s in America, if you've not watched, you have heard of Dragon Ball Z. Okay, that was an anime where they fight and shit on planets and shit. It was very popular in elementary school. You know what I mean? I remember in the show Atlanta, which by the way, Surust likes. There was a flashback scene of the main character where they go to school and somebody asks him, "Hey, did you watch the episode of Dragon Ball Z last night?" And I laughed because that's exactly what we did when I was back in fucking elementary school. Okay? So, in the early to mid 2000s, there were a lot of pretty good animes. You had Dragon Ball Z, fucking One Piece, Naruto, and like that. Other stuff. If you were born in that time period, you probably know, and if you're American, you feel me. And even to people talk about it today, Dragon Ball Z is fucking bounce. You feel me? But let's move to a further generation.
See, we had the Dragon Ball here, Dragon Ball Z, but I seriously hated it, and that's just because that old man was a creep. I don't know. There was some old guy in there
Yes.
who was super creepy,
Yes.
and I watched the show and I liked it, but then a few times he was in and he seriously freaked me out and creeped me out, and I stopped watching it because of that.
I mean, that was the humor part, I guess. But
I guess I was too young and I got creeped by the old man.
yeah, I get that. I guess I don't know how old you were, but I didn't understand. Like I was like 11 or 10 when I watched the show, so I didn't really understand. I just knew he was being funny. But
He's touching girls, like borderline raping, touching them inappropriately. But yeah, he's being funny. See, that's the difference.
I don't
also,
remember.
maybe
I don't remember
girls
exactly.
look at it other way.
Yeah, they do. I don't quite remember what he did, but I just thought he was, that was the humor of the show.
Yes.
But you go to the for the generation if you were born in the mid to late 90s or early 2000s, you think every form of anime is completely deviant. Okay? And here's the thing, what's more, I'm getting ahead of myself, but what's more sexually deviant than pointing out something is sexually deviant, by the way? But, because let's go a few days ago. So Cyberg, right? He asked me who's Tridentify on the CNR Discord, which that was the topic I was supposed to talk about. But he asked me who Tridentify was, and I was like, bro, you don't know Tridentify, bro? He's been using that name since 2012, bro. That's Finlander, you new fag. And Cyber was like, I don't pay attention to names, especially when they have enemy avatar. But oh wait, you love enemy too, Vishon. So I'm like, bro, like, don't get me started. You feel me? First of all, okay, I knew who he was because he's Finlander. You know, he's in DMH and all that. You feel me? But nobody was talking about his avatar. Okay, and I don't know what his avatar is from. Okay, because like I said, when I was growing up, we watched animes where people fought, action animes. You feel me? I don't know what they're watching now. Like you can listen, you can ask Rem or something. I don't know what he watches. You feel me? But we were into that action snit when we were in elementary school. You feel me? And middle school. So just like a regular TV show, right? You got your sitcoms, you got your comedies. They're the same thing. You got your action, and you got your other stuff. You feel me? That's the same snit.
X-rated.
Yes, X-rated. Anime's the same snit, bro. Like, it's the same snit. The difference is the graphics are different. You know what I mean? Like, for real. So when these Borads go around vilifying, like, you can dislike anime, that's fine. You know, that's fine. But when you try to increase your own masculinity by saying anime is shit, then you're trying to dig deep into something. You feel me? Because here's the thing, like with regular cartoons, right? There are some cartoons that obviously you don't know when you watch them as a kid, but there are some parts of cartoons that have sexual references that you don't know because you're a kid. And once you grow up, it's like, you understand. You know what I mean? Animes may be a bit more explicit, but it's the same snit to me. You know what I mean? And that goes back to the time where I gave these Borats Donkey the Day. Not Borats. Two of them were Assassin, Sarustin. Who? Marcus? No. Who's the third guy? Assassin, Sarustin. Who's the third guy? Shit. Who's the third guy?
When you said that about the cartoons and that most people don't see, you know, they have sexual things or whatever. It's the same about, like, this is really gonna be a weird example, but it's really the same with Simpsons, you know? Most people watch Simpsons and they don't actually understand half of the references or the jokes that they are there, you know? Or like even worse, like South Park, you know? You have some kids that watch that, and I know like of one kid because he was even telling me himself that when he was young he watched South Park, and there's this segment, or like in one episode there's Cartman that like watches the speech of the Hitler or something, you know, and he thinks that his speeches are cool, and he goes like in the middle of city and says like "Wir müssen die Juden ausrotten," you know, and everyone keeps saying that, and it just becomes like kind of a song, you know. But at the time, like, he didn't know anything of the history. He was like 10 years old or whatever, and he thought it was funny, you know. But
I think the same thing. Okay, now Christia just said South Park's not a cartoon. What are you talking about?
Well, kinda is, but
anything that is animated is a cartoon. Okay? I mean, what? What is it? You know, because, listen. Because Rick and Morty, right, is a cartoon. It's popular among adults, but it's a cartoon. You know, it's drawn. It's animated, you feel me? And cartoons are not age. You know, they're not necessarily age, you know, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, related. You know what I mean? Like, there are cartoons that are for adults and for kids. Like Family Guy, for example, is meant for adults to watch. But it's a cartoon. You know what I mean? So, yeah, you rats, man. But let me continue. So, that goes back to what I gave three guys Donkey Day for. I really can't remember the third person. It was Rust Assassin and someone else. I completely forgot. Oh, Blister. Yes, Blister. Blister. Yes. So, I played that game, right? It's the Danganronpa series. Okay. And of course, it's the art is anime. Yes, it is. Okay. But first of all, and this is where I'm gonna racialize this again, or probably not, because obviously the first impression we get of things is visual. So if you can't get past visuals, then of course you're not gonna, understand what it's actually about. Yeah, I mean, because that's why I compared Danganronpa to L.A. Noire, because it's almost the same game, somewhat. Okay, somebody kills somebody, you figure out who it is. It's L.A. Noire obviously is a classic detective where Danganronpa isn't, but Borat's look at the game, right, and it's like, oh, Sean, you're playing fucking hentai and shit. You know what I mean? And I remember when Marcus Swede was like, what the fuck? Did you hear that?
Yes.
Okay. So
is it like activate your Windows or something?
No, it's just Windows 10 being gay. It's a notification. But yeah, and this is the disconnect between Americans and Europeans and all this, because like anime is not as deviant here as it is in other countries. You feel me? And I don't play the game because of anything deviant, okay? It's because the games have a good plot. You feel me? But people want to see how a game looks. Like, for example, Fort Gay looks like a dumb game. Okay? It looks like a dumb game. I played it. It's still a dumb game, but at least I played the game to see what it's about, as opposed to I look at it once and say, it sucks, because I look at it. Even though I didn't want to play Fort Gay, but yeah, I mean, like, it takes more than looking at something to see whether or not it has a problem or whatever. Yeah, I mean, so I don't know. So for guys like Rem, other guys like that, like, I will support anyone who watches anime. You know what I mean? Just like how I will support anyone who smokes weed, even though I'm not into it. You feel me? Like, I'm not in the mindset to dislike something because I can, and vilify it because I can't. You know what I mean? So I was gonna sing. I'm just trying to remember how I was gonna, because I planned it all night. Because you know how Cyber, right? Like, I've never given him Donkey today, but if we ever get there, like, there has to be a very good tune. So and this is from the theme of one of the Danganronpa games. I'm trying to think how I'm supposed to sing this. It's gonna sound stupid. This will be worse than the fake Jamaican accent I tried to do a few months ago. Okay, I'm gonna do it. So, obviously, this is not a Donkey today, but in case Cyber ever gets Donkey today, I'm gonna play this tune of me singing over it. What?
I actually wanted to embarrass you today more than you would embarrass yourself now with singing.
Well, I mean, I don't. Okay, yeah.
I was gonna ask you, because we weren't on the show for a few weeks now, when I was in Russia. So I was gonna ask you if you missed me. And make you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, that does make me uncomfortable. It does. It really does.
I did. I missed your voice.
Oh.
GG.
So you can carry on and embarrass yourself with the song now.
Cyber made it easy. Okay, so this tune will be for whenever, if Cyber gets Donkey today. Please give Cyberg the biggest hee-haw. Hey! Yeah.
No, we need Valera's.
Alright, there you go. There you go. So, if Cyber gets donkey today,
Yeehaw, you stupid motherfucking bitch. Something like that.
So awkward.
yeah, I really hope he does get donkey because I really do want to play that. That sounded really good.
Oh, please make one for
That
me.
was really good. That was good.
What kind
Yeah.
of stupid thing can I do to get donkey today?
Well, I mean, I would give you Donkey Day for that, but it wouldn't really be right, because it wouldn't be right because I'd be in the minority. Like it's okay to be in the minority, but it's different when you're like in the 90% minority, because no Europeans like anime. You feel me?
Listen,
So
never going to happen.
yeah, so it's good. Yeah, I just got that off my chest. Yeah, I mean, let's move on here.